As a voting citizen in this republic, we ought to aspire to have leaders that are actually going to be confident, to look Putin in the eye, tell him, you know what, I'm going to make you my little flesh puppet, and ideally even tower over him and lean over and say it like Lyndon Baines Johnson did to a great many people 50 years ago. But nowadays, we've got somebody who's running for office, the second place guy, a distant second, mind you, but still, he's got a Forrest Gump sort of chance in hell to pass an SAT test. This sort of person does actually have maybe a 1% chance of being president, and so we ought to take him a little seriously. And so with that being said, we of course have somebody here in Ron DeSantis who is apparently coping about wearing boots with lifts inside, which is an embarrassing topic. And it's not so much that he's short, because we can't help it, right? Like if I'm his height, I'm also not as insecure about the height that, as compared to him is the thing, right? And so he's a guy who's like 5'7", who says he's 5'11". So that'd be equivalent of me like being 5'8" and saying I'm 6 foot. Okay, so just keep in mind the amount of deception we're working with here.
Are you the type of person, like I have people around me that love to say, hey, Pat, you got something between your teeth. These are the annoying people in your life, right? Hey, Pat, pull your zipper up. Hey, Pat, do this. Hey, pull one of your socks is lower than the other one. I'm sure your marketing team points out how they're trying to troll you in the marketplace. Okay, I'm sure they're doing that. Can you bring this one clip? I know you were on, what do you call it?
So keep in mind that he tries to pull in an anecdote, which is something that a savvy CEO will do. He's like, well, you know what, Tom, I get this complaint a lot. So, and then he brings up something that'll make you feel embarrassed, but he'll say something from his own personal degree so that to where you can feel a little bit more comfortable with what's going on. And so he tries to incorporate Ron. He's little broing Ron, saying like, okay, little bitch, they tell me I have stuff in my teeth. They tell me about my socks mismatching. Now let's talk about your insecurity with height, and let's see how this goes down.
On what was it? Bill Maher, and Bill Maher talked about the boots. I've seen you walk with these boots. Go ahead and play this clip. This on TikTok went viral. It doesn't have 1 million views. It doesn't have 10 million views. This thing's got 1.2 million likes, and some people are wondering,
what are they? I haven't seen that.
Okay, first of all, the cope. So, for instance, he goes on Bill Maher with these huge-ass boots. Now, keep in mind, you're a guy. You're a white guy in Florida. He's wearing boots. Is that really an original sort of concept? He's wearing boots in Iowa in November. Is that a normal thing? Is Donald Trump doing that? No. Does he live a long time in Florida? Yeah. But does he wear that sort of thing? No. Why? Because Donald Trump is actually tall. Donald Trump is actually 6'2", 6'3", whereas Ron DeSantis clearly is like a half a foot shorter. Yeah, exactly. And so he's compensating. And what's so embarrassing is that normally, if you're smart, what you would do is you'd wear shoes that give you an inch, right? Because like that's like normally what happens. Then you have like 2 or 3 inch inserts in them that are not that obvious usually, or you wear like a lot of black people will wear Timbs or Jordans or something. This guy is wearing boots inappropriately, like in the Bill Maher, like, okay, you're walking onto an HBO set doing that. All right. So it's odd. You pull up with like 2 to 4 inch heels already in the boot. And then you've got inserts inside the boot. So when you look at the top of his foot as compared to the bottom of the heel, it's like literally this much of a difference. So he's basically walking on stilts. Like if you were to make him run a wide receiver route, he'd break both of his ankles within 2 seconds.
They have not shown this to you.
By the way, he's talking about a TikTok here that has like 100 million views on it, and he's claiming that he hasn't seen it, which is ridiculous. Because if you deal with candidates, politicians, you'll know that they'll watch something about them that has as few as 50,000 views on it, assuming that they're getting briefed every day on like, oh, this is an MSNBC clip. There's a third-rate anchorman that's talking about you in this station here locally. They'll get that. I know that for a fact. So for Ron DeSantis to have not seen a TikTok with 100 million views on it is a ridiculous proposition. So he's just begging the audience to assume that we're stupid, which is a ridiculously rude thing to do. And even beyond that, we're dealing with somebody who says, oh, I haven't seen it, and then immediately braces for impact because he knows exactly what the fuck they're referring to. And so look at the grimace. And again, he says, I'm bringing youth, right? As contrasted to Joe Biden, who's like 80 years old, Donald Trump, who's pushing that age. You've got somebody who's 40 years younger than both candidates, Ron DeSantis, who's in his early 40s, and looks that much like a dog piece of shit. You're talking about somebody in Ron DeSantis who looks like he's 55 at 40. It's a really bad proposition to have.
Okay, what they're trying to say with this is that in your boots, you have heels.
No.
That's what they're trying to say.
Just look at this. Are you kidding me? Right. So the yellow ought to be where the actual boots are supposed to be, right? You have your normal plant of the foot, the sole of the foot, and then you've got like maybe 2 inches of a heel with normal boots, cowboy boots. Okay, fine. I get that. But look at the extra 4 inches attached. I mean, we're literally talking about a soundbar from a TV. That's like the width of the heel. It's ridiculously big. and you're telling us that you're not wearing lifts. And again, what's gay about it is basically the fact that he's not being open, that he's saying, you know what, I'm actually 5'11". What you ought to say, if you're being honest, is like, well, I'm 5'7" plus this. It's just ridiculous. It's like, it's basically equal to a girl stuffing her bra. Like, does it look better? Yeah. And if you're honest about it, if somebody questions you about it, okay, be honest. All right, you stuff your tits. I get it. It's a push-up bra. But what you ought not do is lie about it. Because when it comes down to going like, and you feel a lack of something, then you're going to be like, bitch, what the hell am I paying for?
Those are just standard off-the-rack Lucchese.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
Look how he stutters. Again, a politician that's actually worth his salt is not going to stutter this often. Well, actually, these are off the rack at Lucchese. First of all, I don't know what that is. Am I supposed to know? Is the average voter in Iowa, these people that you're trying to get to vote for you in Iowa, these primary voters that don't know jack from shit, you're telling them, oh, it's a Lucchese off the rack? What the fuck am I? Some 30-year-old Frisco sort of like yuppie? I don't know what the hell that meant. And even beyond this, you're saying it's off the rack. What is off the rack that is that big? You wouldn't even see that at like a Yeezy fashion show. So like,
are you, Governor? How tall?
5'11".
5'11". Okay. Why don't you wear?
How tall are you? 5'11", and then he adjusts everything because he knows he's lying. You don't have to lie. I mean, it's like if I said I weigh like 180 pounds. Okay, what if I say I weigh 150? That's ridiculous. Like anybody with eyes can tell. Like, okay, no. Could you lie a little bit? Sure. Like if I say I'm 5'9", nobody contradicts me. But if I said okay 5'11", it's like, bro, you're capping. Stop. Shut up.
Tennis shoes and dress shoes.
I do wear tennis shoes when I work out. Yeah, 100%.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. I got a gift for you. I'd love for you to wear.
Isn't that a big indicator, by the way? I wear tennis shoes when I work out. Okay, but do we ever see the guy work out? Not really. And it kind of shows because he has the refrigerator build. But even better than that, we've got somebody here in front of your own eyes, this Ron Desantis fellow, who's saying that he wears tennis shoes when he's working out, but presumably when he's commingling with people at the Iowa Fair or whatever have you, he's walking around for hours on end with these stilted boots. You know how painful it is to walk on those? I'm assuming that it ought to be really uncomfortable, and yet he puts up with it to look tall because he's that small.
Okay, I shop at Ferragamo. Okay, and
I don't accept gifts. I can't accept it.
I totally get it.
I'm sorry.
So if you like this clip.
Isn't that ridiculous? Look at the prospect of it, right? Some guy earnestly, and not earnestly, like obviously PBD was just trolling, right? This Patrick but David guy knew exactly this was going to happen. But he says literally, hey, look, I shop here. Here are these Ferragamo shoes, which if you know about Italian shoes, that's like a really nice brand, at least from what I know. Okay, cool. So, I mean, these are not like Aldo shoes. These are a step above. These are definitely good. Ferragamo, you wear the Ferragamo belt, bitches love it. What you need to do is also wear the shoes. And if they're going to give me a free pair, okay, fine. But since he's like a manlet in the closet, he ought to be like, well, actually, I don't accept gifts. Like as if somebody's going to lynch him over the fact that he took shoes in public in front of like 1 million viewers. Oh, wow. This candidate took fucking shoes. The reason why he's not taking the shoes is not over some FEC complaint, because of course that wouldn't be a problem, realistically. No, it's going to be that he'd look short. And normally, shoes don't make you look short unless you're wearing lifts all the damn time. So again, it's not like, you know, it'd be one thing. If you're wearing sneakers and you have like some inserts in them, that is like hardly anything compared to what this guy's doing. This guy's literally like, if you were to wear a sweater, then a jacket, then a tuxedo, then a bulletproof vest, then a fucking shield. That's like the equivalent of what he's doing. He's layering on boots, like actual cowboy shoes that are bigger than usual, like twice as much heel as you're used to, plus inserts, which is ridiculous. And so now when he's offered normal tennis shoes or normal fancy dress shoes, he rejects it. Why? Look, just to say this, right? If Donald Trump were to wear the shoes that Ron DeSantis does, he'd be 6'6". So to say like, oh, Ron DeSantis is not capping about his height. No, he definitely is. And he's just super insecure about it. And being insecure about it is a weak move because obviously, is it a deal breaker if a guy's short? No, usually it isn't, unless you're like turbo manlet. If you're shorter than 5'6", then you've got some big issues. But like if you're taller than that, you have a chance to survive, okay? Is it treading water? Like at 5'8", are we like struggling out here? Yeah, a little bit. But the fact is that you still have a little bit of, I wouldn't say leverage, but you have a fighter's chance, okay? Whereas with Ron, he just can't live it. He can't live it. He's wearing stilts and it's kind of pathetic and he's insecure about it. You know, Donald Trump would be the type of guy to lie about having lifts But if he were caught, he'd be confident about getting caught. He'd be like, well, you're just a loser. You can't afford these. Frankly, folks, they're huge lifts. I need to be tall. What can I say? It's the art of the deal. Whereas Ron just quivers, he equivocates, he lies about a TikTok that goes viral about him. Yeah, of course he didn't see it, Ronnie D. And just look at how stressed out he is. I mean, he knows he's about to lose this campaign, and over what? So golden boy status absolutely revoked. He's done. It's over. Golden shower time, baby boy, and looking down on you because you're short. And again, I'm like not that much taller than he is, but the fact is that he is more insecure about it than I am. I'm taking it as a W. Sorry, folks. Trump W. It's over for Ron DeSatan. Bye. Don't forget the dab that even happened. Okay, I didn't even try. Adios.